Hi, I am Tiffany and welcome. I want to start with a story. Okay, I like stories. I'm sure my clients might agree with that. So, around the time I was about 7 or 8 years old in the third grade, I remember being in class. I grew up in Philadelphia up until probably junior high school. So, I went to elementary school in Philly. And in the third grade, I remember that my teacher, Mrs. Clay, she had given us this assignment, and apparently I was super uber focused that day and just kind of completing this assignment that she gave us. And plus, Miss Clay didn't play, right? So she would be like, focus on what you're supposed to be doing, right? So I was very, very focused on this assignment. And then all of a sudden, she comes up to me, probably sometime like while we were working on it, and she's like at eye level with me. And she was like, Tiffany, she was like, oh my gosh, you're getting a prize today. And I'm like, I'm getting a prize? And she said, oh my gosh, I am so proud of you. When they were in here fighting and the principal came in and everybody was standing up and getting distracted, she was like, you never even looked up. And I mean, when I tell you, I was looking at her like, my first thought was, I missed the fight. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. I mean, you were super focused today. And, in my best Martin voice, after she got up, I looked at my friend like, oh my gosh, who was rumbling? Who was rumbling? And she was like, oh my gosh, Tiffany, I can't believe you missed it. I mean, the principal came in here, they was tussling, da, da, da. And I was like, oh my gosh, I missed the fight. And you know what? My bishop, the reason what made me think about this story was in Bible study on Wednesday, my bishop had was teaching, and he said, some of us don't realize that we're in the same space and time as other people, and all of us could be experiencing the same moment or going through the same time in the same moment in the same circumstances differently. And there are very few moments like that where, the Lord is trying to do something within this moment. And he used the story of Peter walking on the water. And yet all of us are experiencing this same circumstance from different vantage points and going through it differently. And while there are some individuals, including us, right, that are focused on the problems, when that happens, many times we're missing the blessing of what God is trying to do right in front of us. And don't allow the distraction of the problems around you to cause you to miss your moment and miss what God is doing. And I thought about that story and how many times in my own life God was trying to do something, but the problems that were kind of attached to what God was doing became a huge distraction. And then you miss your moment because you're so focused on what's going on around you that when God is trying to bless you, we're not paying attention and we miss it. And this channel for me is just one of those opportunities where God tells you to move and God tells you to focus and to do something different than what other people are doing, or while they're distracted by the noise going on around us. You could easily get so focused on the news and the fear and the circumstances and the distractions that you miss when God is telling you, keep your eyes right here, focus right here, look up, just like he did with Peter, right? Focus on what I'm doing for you and in your life. And while other people could come and other people could move, they are too distracted by the storms going on around them. And sometimes we miss blessings that God has attached to us because of distractions. And so when other people, talk about their channels and why they moved, I honestly don't know. I'm just trusting, right? And sometimes that's where we're at, is learning to trust God, even when there are other things going on around us that are contrary to what God is trying to do. And so if you stop today, first, I just want to say thank you, because you don't know me and this is my very first video. And the fact that you stopped, my thought process about it is just trusting God that we are here for a reason, right? That, my prayer is that the same way that I'm going on this journey is that whatever it is that God is trying to do for you in your life and in your circumstances, is that you don't get distracted, that you focus in and don't miss a moment that God is trying to speak directly to you and saying, follow me. That you do just that and don't let the things going on around you to push you away from the purpose and the plan that God has for you. There is our perspective and then there's a God perspective, right? And sometimes we let the things and the people become the voice of God for us instead of allowing God to teach us and to move us based on his word and his will. And so my encouragement to you is that in the same way I'm trusting God for this channel is the same way that you need to trust him in whatever it is that he's trying to do for you and in your life. So thank you for joining today. I'm actually just going to probably take these next few videos just to introduce myself. I am a licensed professional counselor. I'm a mommy. I am a business owner and a reverend. And many of you, just like me, you wear many, many hats. And sometimes when there's a new thing that God is trying to spring forth, we are in a comfort zone with our routines and with who we are and how we think our life should look. And when God tries to do a new thing, it's easy to fall back and become trepidatious and fearful. And I am a victim of that as well. But there's no time for that, right? No time for that in this new season that God has us in. We have to push past the fear. And as my husband says, when the lights are on, it's time to shine. And so, listen, we all have to push the button at times when God says go, we say yes. So I'm rambling. I'm rambling already, okay? But there'll be plenty. My prayer is that there'll be plenty of opportunities for us to connect, and I pray that you come along on this journey with me and pray for me as I pray for you as we move into the direction that God has preordained for us to walk in, and that is the prayer. Okay, so thank you, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.